What's going on, everybody? It's Joe from the Acceptable Casualties, here to take a look at some stuff from Tabletop Basement. These guys over in Hanover, Germany, Sasha, he ended up sending me over some of these bunkers right here you see in front of me, as well as a Chit set. I've been talking with them back and forth. They run an awesome YouTube channel. If you guys haven't checked them out, it is in German, but they do have a lot of stuff for Battlegroup, some reviews. They have a lot of stuff going through there. So like I said, if you speak any German and you don't know about this and you're into the historical wargaming stuff, their channel is awesome. I'll leave a link to it inside the description below. But you know, if you don't speak German and you need some motivation to do it, it's also a good thing to look at. And they also run a really cool little shop for like painting, hobby, and they got a couple like models on there, which is what we're gonna be looking at right here today. So they ended up sending me over these two 15mm bunkers right here. So one you have on this side is gonna be their machine gun nest bunker, and this one over here is going to be a machine gun / mortar bunker. You can tell because it has the mortar hole in the top. For scale wise, like I said, compared to the Battlefront bunkers that you usually see for the machine gun nest, they are much smaller than this, but these are actually built to scale. So like this is a 15mm model right here. The head and gun line up perfectly to the holes in each one of these nests in here and give you some walking room on the inside. So like these bunkers are perfect if you're doing a maybe like an Atlantic wall kind of theme, or even like if you're doing like Maginot Line or anything where you have these large fortifications on the beaches. I'll leave that there for scale so you guys can see. These really fit well into that. Like I said, they're scaled to that. The doors along the back, I'll show you guys when we look at them right now, but like when I looked at them at first, I'm like, are these things like 20mm or 28mm? But after I put the model down there and start putting it together, like, you know, these are 15mm scale bunkers and machine gun net, and like this, that they're awesome. Like they're really nice as far as detail goes. So I'll pull up the machine gun one first. So you guys can see in here, there's still a little bit of resin there. I haven't cleaned them up yet, but this can easily come out with like a hobby knife or anything that you want to punch through in there, and you can get it from the front and from the back in here. Let me see if you guys can. I know the glare is kind of tough because this is white, but yeah, it's flush enough to the back where you can kind of cut that out and you can get like a clear shot going through. Same thing with the doors. The molds, the lines are present kind of in there. If you guys can kind of see without me put my finger in the way, going through right here. So if you wanted to cut it and leave it open, you totally could, or you could just kind of paint it and just leave the door in there. And as far as the guys go, like they sit in here really well. I mean, like I said, it's 15mm. Even with the base, there's room for the heads. You can get like a squad in there, and you can do like a lot of stuff with these bunkers. I think like these look perfect for like Atlantic wall. I think that would be really awesome to put together on that. And this is the same thing with the mortar machine gun bunker. So you have, you know, in there's like, you know, still a little bit of resin in there, so you just got to kind of have to clean it up a little bit. But that's the only real cleanup that I've noticed on this going all the way through. They're still like, they got the bullet holes and stuff in there, kind of some damage. This looks like, I said, I mean, I'm able to punch that through on some of these spots. So the cleanup as far as getting it kind of getting like that clear run going all the way through here seems like it would be super easy. This one doesn't have a floor in it, so it just sit flush on the table, which really isn't that big of a deal. The same thing with the door here in the back. It looks like with the hobby knife or maybe a little bit of cutting, you can kind of really get that door off, or if you want to position it and kind of leave it open or do anything with it, you have the flexibility, it looks like, to do that. Like I said, the roof on here, you have the mortar pit. They both sit really flush going into here. Same thing on this one too. Like if you push it up to the edge, there's kind of a little lip here on like the bunker wall to where it'll kind of rest in there, so you don't have to really like mess with like lining it up just perfectly. You can also do some magnets probably on the corners around here, all the way around, if you want to do like some flat magnets, and it would still sit pretty well and look really good. But these bunkers are awesome, and I didn't know that they had these on there. Like when he sent these over, I was pretty surprised. I'm like, you guys got bunkers? I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna have to add these onto the shopping list if we ever decide to do some beach landings or even just some fortification lists and stuff like that, because they are really nice. They have this stuff on there. They also have a lot of like hobby stuff as far as like paint trays and things like that for all like your painting needs. They got a bunch of stuff for like weathering powders and a lot of things like that. They also have some other stuff like from Warlord and some other companies on their shop as well. And like I said, I'll leave a link to that. If you go to their shop, it comes up in German first, but if you look on the top right hand corner, there's a tab over there for the if you click it over to English, and then you can kind of just go through the whole thing in English. So this is kind of what they sent here for models. They also sent over an MDF Chit set. for Battlegroup. So this one that I ended up getting, just a regular standard MDF chit set that they put over here. And this is for the Fall of the Reich chit set is what they have here. So, you got your airstrike stuff in here, your regular numbered chits. It's a full 96 chit set, all the stuff that you would need that would kind of go with the Battlegroup chit set. If you look on there as well, they have an acrylic one too that I think is just the base set. Last time I checked, I was going to order it, but they actually were out of stock, so I assume they're selling them pretty good, but they look like super nice. I think it's like a green or black, like acrylic chit with kind of like white facing on it, so like your numbers would be like white, and it looks really good. They also have some tokens over there as well for I don't know, maybe it might be like 8 to 10 different token sets for different nationalities. So if you want to use them as markers for like pinned or units that you've already activated and things like that, it's like a circular marker that has like the national flag in it for whatever you're doing. Sometimes I think they even have like British Airborne version and some other stuff in there too. So that's worth looking at if you're looking for just like markers to kind of keep track of what you're doing on the tabletop with your unit. They have those there, and I think the chit set is 20 euros, and the other one, like the actual markers, it's substantially less. I think you get like 15 of them. I don't want to say the price and oversell it or undersell. I'm not exactly sure, but it is less than what the chit set is. So it's like 20 euros if you're in Europe or maybe in the UK. It's definitely worth looking at. And I know like for over here, I think like the shipping to get just some of the chits and stuff like over here, the shipping's a little bit more to send it, obviously, because we're going across the pond, across the Atlantic, so usually that adds up. But for the if you're putting in a pretty good size order, I could definitely say I would think it would be worth it for the bunkers alone, just for the little bit extra that you end up paying in shipping, because like these are really, really nice. I know they have these two in 15, and I think they have a 28 millimeter line for some of you bolt action players, some of you guys that play on a larger scale. They have like a farmhouse, and then they have an actual farm set with some walls and some like little barns, and then there's like a separate barn that you can get as well. So they have some other stuff too, and like the resin for this is really, really nice. It's worth checking out. So yeah, this is Tabletop Basements offerings they have here for 15 mil for Battlegroup, and then just bunkers and stuff and terrain that you can use in general, as well as a whole bunch of other things for the hobby side of what we do. So totally worth checking out. Highly recommend. Like I said, if you guys are in the EU or if you're in the UK and you guys are looking for some stuff like this, definitely give them a look. I'll put the link below and then throw them some business. So I'll catch you guys later.